All right, section 6.3, part 2, volume of cylinders, volume of pyramids and cones. So problem number 1. The Great Pyramid in Giza in Egypt is a square pyramid. Its height is 481 feet, and its base has 756 foot long sides, so 756 on each side. So if it's a square pyramid, that means each of these would be 756. Find the volume of the pyramid. So capital B, area of the base, is length times width. So 756 times 756, and that would equal 571,536. And then for the volume, I need to take 1/3 times 571,536 times 481, which is the height. If you have not already gotten out your notes from 6.3 part 1 with the formulas, then I would recommend that you do that. And then when I get this calculated, I end up with 91,636,272, and then I would label this feet cubed. Okay. Number 2. Here we have a pyramid in Mexico, a square pyramid. Its height is 24 meters and its base has 55 meter sides. So that means the length and the width are both 55. Find the volume. So capital B equals length times width. So 55 times 55, that equals 3,025. And then the volume would be 1/3 times 3,025 times the height, which is 24. So for the volume, you get 24,200 meters cubed. Number 3, some traffic pylons, or also known as cones, traffic cones, are shaped like cones. Calculate the volume of a cone to the nearest hundredth if the radius of the base is 5 and the height is 24. Use the pi button on your calculator. The pi button on your calculator is located on most of your calculators right above the caret or the upside down V. So you're going to see a button that has x squared, and then you're going to see a button that has the upside down V, and then you'll see a button that has pi. So you're going to want to use that button instead of 3.14. If you use 3.14, you're going to get a completely different answer. So to calculate the area of the base, I'm going to use pi times the radius squared. So here's what I'm going to do that's different. Instead of going ahead and calculating out pi, I'm just going to calculate 5 squared. So that's 25. And then I'm going to put pi beside it. And I'm not going to use that button just yet. And then for my volume, I need to take 1/3 times capital B, which is 25 pi, times the height, which is 24. So now I'm actually going to multiply and use that pi button that can be found on your calculator. So my answer I get is 628.318. The instructions say round to the nearest hundredth. So I need to look at my third decimal. It is 5 or greater, so I'm going to round up. So 628.32 inches cubed. Okay, so this is number 4. For some reason you have 2 number 4s, so we'll just call this one 4A. So calculate the volume of a cone to the nearest cubic centimeter. So the nearest cubic centimeter, that means the nearest whole number. If the radius of the base is 15 and the height is 64. So we are using pi on our calculator again. So capital B equals pi times 15 squared. So capital B equals, and 15 squared is 225. So I'm going to leave this as 225 pi. The volume equals 1/3 times 225 pi times the height, which is 64. So if I multiply that out using the pi button on my calculator, I get 15,079.6. So the instructions say to round to the nearest centimeter. So this is 5 or greater. So I would round up to 15,080 centimeters cubed. Okay, number 4B. Calculate the volume to the nearest hundredth. Use pi on your calculator. Okay, so this is a rectangular pyramid. So in this case, pi is not relevant. Capital B equals length times width. So capital B equals 9 times 9. So capital B equals 81. And then for the volume, I'm going to take 1/3 times 81 times 7. So that equals 189 centimeters cubed. Okay, number 5, I would like you to pause your video and calculate number 5. This is a square pyramid or a rectangular pyramid, so the pi is not relevant. So again, pause your video and calculate this. Okay, so you should end up with an answer of 80 inches cubed. Number 6, I would like you to pause your video and calculate number 6. You are rounding to the nearest hundredth, and you are using the pi button on your calculator. So pause your video and calculate number 6. Okay, rounded to the nearest hundredth, you would get 94.25 inches cubed. Okay, number 7 looks a little bit different. This is a cone. However, this 12 right here is going all the way across the circle. So this is showing a diameter of 12. So we have to use radius. So in order to find the radius, remember we have to cut that in half. So we would have a radius of 6, and we are going to use the pi button. So capital B would equal pi times 6 squared. So capital B would equal 36 pi. And then for the volume, I would take 1/3 times 36 pi times the height, which is 4. So my volume would equal 150.796, and the instructions say round to the nearest hundredth. So I look at my thousandth. It is 5 or greater, so I round up. So my answer would be 150.80 centimeters cubed. Okay, so your homework for this is page 278. I would like you to label it page 278, number 2.